everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live or to an archive or a replay, I want to welcome you all to the show. I want to let you know that it is the 11th of July already at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm live. I'm looking at my hair right now in the live stream, and I don't know what to say. Sorry. Sorry to me. I've had a morning. I'll tell you all about it. It's a good thing. But here we are. I want to let you know we are live streaming. You can find this event over on Facebook or YouTube by looking for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic if you'd rather watch than listen. Or you can listen on 12radio.com. And of course, we're in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com, clicking on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. So that's all of the ways to connect. If you are commenting in the live stream chat or anywhere else in the chat rooms, I will see it. I'm a good multitasker and I have them all feeding into me, so I should see your comments. And yeah, I would imagine we have some time for some readings today. So that's what's up. It's been a hot minute since I've been here. Last week, of course, was the 4th of July, which of course is Independence Day here in the States. So I didn't have a show, but I am glad I'm back today. So our big news is that we picked up our new puppy this morning. That's why I'm, well, like this. uh, we did get a new baby. It's a Basset Hound puppy. As you probably recall, we lost one of our dogs, Little Blue, back in February. She was Mars's dog, and it was a shock and a terrible heartbreak. And Mars's little heart, well, she needed her Basset Hound. So we put a deposit on this puppy a hot minute ago, about 6 weeks ago, and she's finally home. So I did put a picture in the chat room, and Scott is supposed to bring her in here so that you guys can see her on the live stream here shortly. But I'll show you a picture at any rate. Yeah, this is Nellie. Look how big her feet are. Her parents were beautiful Basset Hounds. Um, Really classic body shape and not super big. Yeah, she's a very pretty little girl. And so far, she has been an absolute daddy's girl. Mars isn't even home. Mars is in Colorado for a few more days. So we're doing it all. But so far, she really all she wants is Scott. She's a real dad's girl. Here she is. Come here, Nellie Belly. Oh, here she is. Oh. The other doggies do not know what to think. Luca wants to be her best friend, but he's also pestering her. There, show him your cute little face. Show him your big old feet. Yeah. Oh, look how long her ears are. Can you show him? She's like, I'm not a show dog. No. And then one more look. You have to look at how fat her little tummy is. Look at this. And the breeder said she's been wormed twice. But we'll probably worm her one more time in a few weeks. But here she is. Okay, you can go back. There you go. So that's the baby girl. Isn't she cute? So Fiona wants to mother her really bad. She's already been fiddling with her, and what she does with the puppies is she tries to mommy them like she would a piglet. Now, Fee's never had a baby, but these are her. This is what she thinks she would do. So she'll get her nose up underneath her and try to flip her. She wants to flip them over and sniff their tummies. And like, it's not the worst thing, but and in fact, we had a puppy, Micah's puppy, Layla, a couple years ago. She loved it. She let Fee mother her for months. And then one day she flipped her over and didn't hurt her, but scared her, and she cried, and it hurt Fiona's feelings so bad. She ran outside, absolutely terrified, and never played with her again, which was really sad. Well, kind of. Layla still plays with her. Every time Layla comes here, she jumps all over on Fee and tries to make her play with her. She wants to be her very best friend. But Fiona would kind of like to have a baby, but that's a hard pass. But I'll show you a picture of her meeting her this morning. Yeah, she stood like that for a long time with her nose on Scott's chair, just sniffing, watching. And then we took her outside and put her on the ground and let Fee, really inspect her. And it went really well, actually. She's not acting afraid of the other dogs per se, just a little afraid of, she's had a big change today. I would say the only dog that's really acted up at all is Bruno, which is not a surprise. He's been a little sassy to her. He will be. He is a real mom's guy. But so we're just helping him learn that, you can't be naughty to the baby. But so far, so good. I think we're going to be fine. Now, Luca, unfortunately, is, he's been in trouble a couple of times now for trying to hump her. Now, this is, uh, as humans, we sexualize humping in a way that isn't necessarily sexual. This is what we call it, right? But with dogs, a lot of times it's about ownership and hierarchy. So Luca's trying to hump her to, well, own her. That doesn't sound any better, does it? So anyway, he's had to have a couple of conversations now about not humping the baby, but it's all there's no malice though. Luca is the happiest, cutest, sweetest boy. He just wants everyone to be his best friend. And I suspect these two will be best friends moving forward because she's going to be bigger and he can play harder with her. There's nobody in this house he can play really rough with because he's so much bigger. So, though he does play really rough with Bruno, and Bruno's really rough and tumble, so he puts up with it. But anyway, it'll be a good thing for him, I think. So there you go. So, how are you guys? Anything new? Anything you want to report? Anything you would like to share with the group? Oh gosh. It's weird. It's always weird to take a week off and today because we had to pick up the puppy this morning, I had very carefully crafted my schedule so that I'd be able to be here on time and get all my stuff done, and I did. So it worked, but because I knew there's just no way I could miss today. You don't get to miss 2 weeks in a row. No, you don't. So here we are. Anyway, I hope everyone had a good Independence Day. I hope that you and your pets lived through the fireworks, if they were an issue where you live. They are definitely an issue where I live. Yet again last night, poor Rico. Some of my other dogs don't really care. The puppies do not care. The pigs don't care. But Rico really cares. Yeah, last week he was so miserable. I just felt sorry for him. He just can't handle it. And honestly, it just pisses me off. I'm so over it. I'm so over the booming and the sounds and the upset and ugh. Can't it just be over? But see, what happens here is that there's another holiday that happens in July. So July 24th is a primarily a Mormon holiday. It's the 24th of July, or the Days of 47, they call it, but also Pioneer Day. And this is when they are celebrating their ancestors coming across the plains, my ancestors coming across the plains. And it's a big party. It's a big, well, the way Mormons party. It's a party. Cup of drinking milk. I'm kidding, but kind of. But anyway, there's a huge parade, several huge parades around here. There are rodeos. There's, you know, street events, there's fireworks. And so it becomes, so we just kind of from the 4th to the 24th, it's just kind of open season on fireworks. And God, it's just so hard on my dogs. Yeah. My nerves too, actually, this year. I've never noticed it before, but this year, oh, I've not been a fan either. And maybe it's because it upsets Rico so much that every time I hear them, I'm like, it's a firework, but ugh. Oh boy. Pretty sure that UPS is here. Or maybe Prime. It's Prime days, right? It is, yeah. Sid said, hopefully Nellie will allow Fiona to fulfill her maternal instincts for a long time. That was a really cute photo. I hope she does. She's not afraid of her. Even after she tried to flip her and upset her, she ran right back into her and wanted to know, is hanging right out with her. So I think hopefully it'll be a good combo. My pigs have gone feral, you guys. They are sleeping outside at night. They have never done this before. But they have this spot back up under our pine trees. We have a couple of really big old pine trees that have just kind of created a whole corner of our yard is just all shade and shelter and, a couple feet thick of pine needles. I think this is from neglect. but but the pigs love it under there. It's always cool, even when it's hot. Um, they can always dig down into those pine needles and find a really soft, comfy place to sleep. And they like to dig back there and all that and wallow in it. And so now all they want to do is sleep back there. And so at night, we're having a hard time getting them to come in. So there's been several nights lately that we've just left the piggy door open for them. So if they want to come in and just let them sleep in the backyard. Oh, the moose is always in the front yard. The moose can't get into the backyard. We have big, tall fences. Yeah. But wouldn't that be something? It's not quite the right season. Well, I don't know. I mean, we had that moose last year, I think in July, didn't we? So maybe it is. We'll see. Yeah. Anyhow, it's just cracking me up. They've never done this before. And usually, if the pigs will do what you want them to for food, like hands down. So if you want them to come in, all you have to do is put a few pieces of dog food in a pan and shake it. And when they hear that, they will come barreling in. But the other night they outsmarted Scott. He pigs, man. He set him up with some dog food and called him in. When they came up on the patio and he threw him a few pieces of dog food, they ate them and ran back to their piggy wallow. So cracking me up. I've never seen it before, but we'll take it. So funny. Okay, well, let's see. Let's take a little look at Luminous. You probably already received it. It came out at 10 this morning. Cute little puppy legs, right, Denise? Basset hounds. Oh, you guys. I should have taken some pictures of the siblings. There were 10 puppies in that litter, and there were still 8 of them when we got there. Uh, my God, just unthinkably cute. Oh yeah, they'll hurry back in when it gets cold. They do not appreciate having snow on their hooves. They're such jerks in the winter about the cold. So, oh yeah, they'll spend the whole winter laying on the couch, but they're sure enjoying it right now. Okay, let me double check. All right, just sharing my screen here. I thought we'd go through a few things. Okay, I did include a link on the my note page of our booth from the fair. We had a fair on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And I did share a clip of our booth if you're interested in seeing what our booth looks like or what we were up to. We had a really nice fair. It wasn't crazy busy, but man, we had a chance to reconnect with some old friends and visit with some of the other vendors. And sometimes you have no time for that at all. But this was nice. We did have some time for that. And also, we were placed in a spot that wasn't quite as hot. I mean, we have our shelters too, but I don't do my body doesn't do heat very well. Neither does Christie's, and so we really have to be careful and not get ourselves all exposed to the sun. But we were in such a great spot for that. So anyway, we had a really fun fair. It was nice to be a little bit more laid back, and sometimes at those fairs, people come to see us that I adore and would love to catch up with and have a little time with, and you just don't have it. It's just you're too busy. So that was kind of fun, I thought. So I called the magazine this week, Blame It on the Sun, because we're getting solar storms right now that are definitely going to cause maybe some tech chaos. Some of that high pressure energy this week that kind of feels like we're in a pressure cooker. So, what do you do with that? If you are one of the people that really feels that, move yourself. Walk a little bit, stretch a little bit, just move your body. I'm not telling you to go run a 5K, just move yourself a little bit. It really helps to release that energy and help ground it into the earth. But the sun is going to cause some chaos. So, you know how when Mercury's retrograde, whether it's Mercury's fault at all or not, we're like, wow, it's Mercury. Right? You stub your toe and you're like, damn it, Mercury. That's kind of how it'll be this week with the sun. And you are welcome to just blame the sun. It will be the sun's fault. There's actually a good opportunity here in the States, in some states, Idaho being one of them, to see the northern lights on Thursday because of solar storms. So that's exciting too. So check it out. Go to the weather service and check and see if you're one of those people that lives in a place where you might be able to catch the northern lights. Hopefully we get to see them, but it looked like it was going to be more in the Boise area. So probably my jerk kids will get to see them and I won't. Okay, I think I have shared this before in my musings, but I'm sharing it again because it's been a depressed time for a lot of people, and all times might be a depressed time for some people, right? And I think that these tips are so helpful and so useful. I think it's good for all of us if we're going through some depression. I think they're also good tips to remember if you live with someone or have a friend that's depressed, maybe some things that you can very gently suggest or help with, or help create some shift for. So I'm sharing them with you. I didn't write this. This floats around on social media every so often, and I wish I did know who wrote it so I could give them credit, but I don't. But I did share it because it's smart. So these are some depression tips. Take a shower, not a bath, but a shower. Use water as hot or cold as you like. You don't even need to wash. Just get in under the water and let it run over you for a while. Sit on the floor if you need to. This is so good for helping ground you into your body, just helping to rinse away some of the blah. It's a really good technique. Then moisturize everything. Do you realize when you get depressed how irritated your body can be and you might not even know it? Some level of you knows it. Some level of you feels itchy or bothered or irritated, but you have such a thick, heavy blanket over you of fog and depression that you might not know what it is that's bothering you. But also that contact with yourself, putting your hands on yourself, on your body, also helps to create some grounding and also just some spatial awareness, some body awareness. So be fancy lotion, it can be dollar store lotion, it can smell great, it can smell like nothing. That's totally up to you. But cover yourself in it. Put lotion everywhere. Put on clean, comfortable clothes. Even if you just put on a clean pair of pajamas. Have you guys ever been sick before and you don't take care of yourself and you just feel worse? And then maybe you take a shower and you put on clean pajamas and you suddenly feel 10 times better. even if it's jammies. Just put on clean clothes. Put on your favorite underwear. Again, if you are feeling, if you're depressed, you might not realize how irritated you feel. And this is not a time for underwear that are too tight or that are uncomfortable or that are itchy or that make you feel uncomfortable in your skin in any way. Drink cold water. Use ice if you want. Add some mint or lemon if you want to, but drink cold water, mostly just to drink water. Because sometimes when you're depressed, you don't take care of yourself, and you might not think to drink water. And frankly, drinking good, clean water is one way to feel a lot better sometimes when you need it. Clean something. It doesn't have to be big. You can organize one drawer of a desk or wash 5 dirty dishes, do one load of laundry, scrub the bathroom sink. Just do something. Again, you don't have to clean your whole house. You don't have to tackle everything. Just do something so that you have a bit of accomplishment here. Blast music. Listen to something upbeat and dancey and loud, something that's got a lot of energy, something you can sing to, something that gives you a boost, something that you have some muscle memory to or some cellular memory to that triggers some good memories, happy memories. Make food. Don't just grab a granola bar, don't just grab something easy, but make something. Even if it's just mac and cheese or ramen or something easy, but make something. Just do something for you to nurture yourself and create something. You could write something, you could crochet or knit or paint, plant something, even if it looks like shit. It doesn't matter. Nothing, it doesn't have to look good. So many times I've said this, creativity is about the process, it is not about the outcome, right? And so if you want to create things, don't worry about them looking like the magazine cover or even like what you dreamed up. Just create something. Also, cooking is creative. And so cooking might be your creative outlet. Go outside. This is a big one because one thing I've found with a lot of times with depression is that we tend to stay indoors and just are kind of aimlessly, mindlessly attached to electronics without really accomplishing anything, just kind of scrolling through. Don't do that for a minute. Put it down. Go outside, breathe fresh air, take a walk, sit in the grass, look at the clouds, smell the flowers, put your hands in the dirt and feel soil against your skin. Again, this is tactile. This is about reconnecting yourself to the natural world to ground you and place you back in your body. Call someone. I think this is an important one. Sometimes we feel so disconnected from everything, we forget that just having a conversation with somebody may help. Call a loved one, a friend, a family member, a chat service if you don't have anyone else to call. Visit with a stranger on the street. Just open your mouth, talk to people. It doesn't have to be about anything. It doesn't have to be about how depressed you are or anything else, right? Could be about anything. But some social interaction wouldn't kill you. You can even just go to a coffee shop and buy a cup of coffee and a treat and just sit and people watch for a while. Even that is a boost. Cuddle your pets if you have them. And if you don't, go cuddle somebody else's. You can go to nearly any animal shelter and volunteer to walk animals or to cuddle animals or to help out. You can even just go to a pet store and cuddle an animal. There's a lot of ways for you to connect with animals that are good for you. And then, just a reminder At your absolute best, you won't be good enough for the wrong people, but at your worst, you'll still be worth it to the right ones. Remember that. And then, of course, don't forget that there is the suicide text line is hashtag 988. And that is a great way to text. You can also, of course, call the suicide hotline if you need to do that. But you can also just text 988 and find somebody to talk to that way too. So it's a good list. It's an important list. It's a good one to remember for yourself and for other people too. Okay, moving on. So Kelly has some big stuff in the works, and I want to share it with you because she has made a change to honor herself and the amount of work that she puts into her scopes and her work. And I think it's really, really powerful. So I want to share it with you guys. So she has moved horoscopes or her bitch scopes to a Patreon. So how this works, if you Patreon is a website that you go to and you subscribe. And so she has, I think, three different membership possibilities. I think are like $1, $5, and $10. And that's where you'll be able to get all of her bitch scopes, her podcasts, all of her work she's putting in her Patreon, which I think is brilliant. She puts in an enormous amount of work for her scopes and all the other stuff that she does. And I love that she kind of took a step back to recognize that what she's doing is worthwhile and it's worth her being paid for, reimbursed for in some way. Like it needs to benefit her. So I'm really proud of her that she took this step, and I hope that you guys will support her in that. So I put links in both chat rooms to her Patreon. But basically, Patreon is super easy. You there's an app you can put on your phone. You can also just go to their website. But if that resonates with you, go ahead and go subscribe. I did. So what she's going to provide us in Luminous now is the conclusion of the week. So basically a wrap up of this is what we can expect, but the scopes themselves will now be over on her Patreon. So I think it's awesome, Kelly. I'm proud of you. I think this is a great step, and you are absolutely worth this. Your scopes are the best there are, and my God, so much work. Yeah. So you can read through here and see what she's got to share with us for the week. And then, of course, go over there. And so her scopes this week are zeroing in on where the new moon will hit your chart and what the North Node in Aries means for you. Those are two things that are coming up. So that's what's happening. Yeah. So there you go. So way to go, Kelly. Love it. Okay, my tip this week I put together an infographic on edible flowers. Really time that our flowers ought to be blooming like crazy. We should probably have a lot of the that you can start harvesting. We've been harvesting quite a bit of our herbs already. Uh drying some and using a lot, but I thought this would be a fun time to remember that lots of flowers are edible. And if you're growing them, you can certainly harvest them for use that way. The only thing about flowers, edible flowers, is that you got to know that they were not grown with pesticides or fungicides. If they've been treated with anything like that, they do not go in your mouth. So you either need to grow them yourself so that you know what's gone on them, or you need to be able to get them from a place that has, that can guarantee that they're organic. We have a troll. Hold on. Elizabeth Lee, boo on you. Wow, she was moving fast, man. Okay, I got her blocked. I'm going to delete her comments too, though. Only on Facebook do we get this. So frustrating. Okay. Anyway, sorry, totally sidetracked. But again, just make sure that your flowers are clean, if you're going to use them for eating. But here's some, and this is just five. There's a bunch of edible flowers, but this is five that I think are good and fun to use. So I thought that would be fun ones to share with you. So pansies, pansies or violas, they are edible and they're kind of sweet and they are so beautiful on, like, consider icing sugar cookies and putting flowers on top of them, or a cake, or putting them as a garnish on top of a salad. You can also freeze them into ice cubes to put in a fancy drink. Even if that fancy drink is just for you, you are worth it, right? But pansies are my absolute favorite to put on. You can make like we used to like to do little tea parties. We haven't done one in a while, but you can do these cute little uh good lord, cucumber sandwiches, with your cute little bread and your cream cheese spread, and then you can put maybe some tomato and some cucumber on that, and then put a pansy on top of it. So cute. I love it. I love every second of it. And then, of course, rose petals. We know roses are edible. We've talked about this lots of times, but rose petals. So, some ways to use them. They are amazing in tea, in cocktails, in baked goods, in salads. You can make rose petal jelly. I used to do this with my grandma's wild roses, her yellow wild roses. But and the jelly's yellow, but you can do it out of pink roses, and you get a pinkish, very light pinkish jelly. But yeah, you can make jelly that is really amazing on buttered toast, on scones, on things like that. But rose petals, you can also dry your rose petals to hold on to for bath salts, for use in magic. Like, rose petals is where it's at. Lavender buds. Of course, lavender is edible, right? You've probably eaten lavender before. If you've never had lavender lemonade, you have not lived. Lavender lemonade is amazing. So you can just take lavender, take like a half a cup of buds, and simmer it in sugar water. Like, simmer really low. Don't boil it, just simmer it low. And you can just let that simmer for covered so that you don't evaporate a bunch of your water for about 30 minutes, and then strain out the solids. And then you have a lavender simple syrup. And then you can just use that. You can do that with your rose petals too. But then you can just use that in cocktails, in tea, in to make lemonade that is amazing. But lavender is a huge one for cooking. Lavender is also amazing in sugar cookies. Oh, mm, lots of ways. Also, you can add these if you want to do focaccia bread and do like a floral scene on your focaccia bread and bake it into it. You can do that. But lavender has a billion uses that way. And of course, your lavender buds, you also want to dry some also for use in magic and for use in bath salts. So you definitely want to get all your lavender buds harvested. Okay, chamomile. Disclaimer on chamomile. If you are allergic to ragweed, if you have like a ragweed allergy, chamomile is not going to be your jam. Otherwise, chamomile are these tiny little daisy looking flowers, and they're great for tea, for hot tea or cold tea. They're really cute to garnish baked goods. They're fully edible. They don't taste like a lot. They're kind of sweet. I don't really like the centers. They're kind of fuzzy to me, and I don't that's a hard pass. But there's nothing wrong with them really. I just don't like the way it tastes to eat them. But anyway, chamomile flowers, of course. And then bachelor buttons. Bachelor's buttons come in lots of different colors. They are so cute to put in things like a salad. They have kind of a peppery, raw green bean kind of taste. And they're so cute. a really unique thing to add to things that you're cooking. You can also put those, if you're putting them on, they're kind of sweet-ish. So if you want to use them on baked goods and stuff like that, you can. And they'll just add a little more of a sweetie kind of a flavor. So anyway, so that's a few thoughts on edible flowers. But again, there's so many more. That's just a few that came to my mind. But at any rate, you can play with and examine that. And if you're growing flowers like that, before they all go to hell, make sure that you harvest some of your buds or some of your leaves or some of your whole flowers and use them. Okay. Christy's energy exercise this week for us is her Shakti manifesting. You know, with this sun and the solar storms happening, the sun is a really powerful agent for change and can be a really powerful agent for manifesting. So, this is a great week for manifesting. Hey, smiling. All right, over Heart Happenings with Ginger, she is giving us essential oils for all of the different signs. So, let's do Gemini. So, Gemini, bergamot is your scent to assist with motivation, to help open and deepen the heart chakra, and provide a greater sense of emotional well being. Well, okay then. Awesome. Just read through there, find yours. And if you don't have that oil, you might consider picking it up. Love it. I mean, there's always more crime over at True Crime Squad. We're getting ready to do our next drunkumentary. Uh, I don't know if you guys watched them last month. That was when we started them. But basically, we are watching a documentary, taking notes, and then coming back to report and do a live stream talking about it over a cocktail. And the first ones turned out really funny, really good. So this time the documentary is Bad Vegan and it looks like a very wild ride. So that'll be fun. Anita brings us the Green Man. Of course, the Green Man is deeply connected to nature and the outdoors, and this is a great time to connect with him. So be sure that you read what she has to say about that and see if you can connect with the Green Man. Jamie Dawn has a brand new video. She says emotions are the name of the game. Boy, that seems to be the case right now. Wow. And that's it. So, as always, thank you to everyone who contributes to Luminous. Always appreciated. And hopefully, you found some gems in there that help you as well. So, there you go. Okay. I'm going to jump in both chat rooms here really quick. Oh, Denise had cataract surgery. She said, eye opening for sure. Boy, I'll bet. I hope you're feeling good. That's awesome. I think that's one of those surgeries that people tend to put off when they really need it. And then when you do, you're really surprised. I had a friend last week that she has a bad hip and a bad knee. She had a cortisone shot in her hip. And she said, I don't think I realized how much pain I was in because having the shot has made all the difference. Suddenly, I'm just feeling so much better. Kind of how chronic pain is. It sneaks up on you, you know? But I think the cataracts kind of do too. And you've just been adjusting and adapting for so long. You get your surgery done, and suddenly life is a whole new shade, right? Well, good for you, Denise. I'm glad you got it done. Oh, Renee shared a picture of her kitty just listening to 1 2 radio and playing with cats. This is Teddy playing with a bell on a string. Oh, oh, he's so pretty, Renee. It's kind of like a Russian blue. He is gorgeous. So fun. Okay. Oh, Geraldine said, thanks for the dragonfly tote. Oh, you are so welcome. Glad to be here live today. My lungs are on the heel once again, so it feels good to be able to be anywhere. Oh, I'm so glad, sweet. I'm sorry you've been struggling. I've been using this thing that strengthens your lungs that you blow out on, and it has these balls inside of it that you and it kind of like vibrates your lungs, and then you have to suck in on it to breathe. That's the harder part. But every time I do that, like, it's pretty amazing. In fact, I was doing it last night and I got a listen call. I was right in the middle of it, so I put it down and for some reason that had opened something up and my voice was way louder than it normally is. So my poor client, I think I shouted in her ear. And I was like, "Whoa, what am I doing?" Isn't that weird? Anyway, if you don't have one of those lung things, actually, it was one of you guys that recommended it to me. Thank you for that. Uh, but if you don't and your lungs aren't great, they're on Amazon. They're like Scott bought two because he wasn't sure which one would be the best. One was $20, one was $50. To be honest, the $20 one is the one I like the most. It has the balls in it that creates like the vibration in my lungs that makes a big difference. It's amazing. Let's see. Sid said, have you ever grown strawberries? Some critters eating mine right before they're ready. That's always been my experience too, Sid. Every time. I have tried strawberries so many times and given up. It's here, I think it's moles. I even tried like the high frequency little things that you put in the ground, to try and keep them away. Pfft, that's a joke. That never happened. It doesn't work. Not at all. So I don't know. I have no luck for you on that. Lillian, if time, would you look at my right ear and try to get rid of the pressure? Clogged for months. Doctor doesn't know why. I'm miserable. Oh, that sucks. Let's feel into it. Okay, I know this sounds weird, but I'm going to challenge you to do some therapy on your neck. Alternate hot and cold. Use Aspercreme or Volatrin gel or, one of those to help cut the inflammation. I feel like this is coming from back here, that you've got some really stuck, tight tissue back there that's keeping your eustachian tubes from really draining and creating all that cloggy stuff. So, my opinion, you also might consider a chiropractor that drains eustachian tubes. Fair warning, it hurts a lot, but once it's done, it's done. It would make a big difference. Okay, so I'm just going to put a chi ball of silver, the ethereal properties of silver, and the ethereal properties of aquamarine all the way around that whole side of your head and neck to see if we can help cut that inflammation and get that ear draining. The other thing you can do is there's a chiropractor on YouTube that has a video about how to drain your own eustachian tubes by changing the anatomy of your head. Really interesting. He explains it how the anatomy of our head isn't set up very well for helping our eustachian tubes to drain. And so he has a whole system. I mean, it's easy, but basically, what you do is you pull out on your ears. So, not your earlobes, but like above your ears. You just pull them out, not painfully so, but you just pull them out. And then while they're out, you open your mouth as far as you can. Like, don't hurt yourself. This doesn't have to be like extreme movements, but open your mouth and then you hold that with the ears out and the mouth open for 4 counts. And then you let go and close your mouth for 4 counts. And then you pull the ears back out and open your mouth for 4 counts. And you do that like 5 or 6 times in a row, a few times a day. And it is astonishing how much that drains your eustachian tubes. But basically, he's saying we get inflammation built up that prevents our eustachian tubes from fully draining. And then we get build up pressure in our ears, pressure in our sinuses, that there's no real answer for. So I would try that too, Liliane. And I would challenge you to find that guy on YouTube probably too, since that was kind of a lame ass description. But that's how you do it. I do it. And I think it helps a lot. JR said everything I said needs a pause. Vibration, balls, sucking. True. True. Yeah. Oh, Jane said my brother inherited houses from a man who invented the lung gym. Oh, that's very cool. Huh, interesting. Jane's supposed to have another yard sale this weekend. Not really feeling it. Can you cancel? You're too tired and you're not ready. I mean, if you have to do it, do it. I feel like it won't be the worst thing that ever happened, but I feel like if you could put it off for 2 weeks and then do it, you'd be in a lot better energy for it. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see. Tiffany said, if time allows, I'd love a check in on Hickory Rabbit. How is she feeling? Well, let's tune into Hickory. She's been through a lot this last little bit. Better, Tiff. She's feeling better. I feel like that mouth is a lot better. But she just feels more energetic to me, too. Just in general, I feel like she is perked up. Man, that poor girl, that was a lot. It sucks having to put him through stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, Geraldine said I wanted to get one of those for my lungs. I'll try the one on Amazon that you mentioned. Geraldine, I'll try and put a link here for it when the show's over, so that you can see which one it was, because there's a whole bunch of them. But totally worth it. Totally worth it. Oh yeah, Tiffany said, "Oh, you have an aerobica? Okay, good to know." Oh, thank you, Terry. Denise said, "Mom's doing pretty good after spinal compression procedure, but not fully back and grounded, I think. Any thoughts?" Oh, let's tune into her. Ooh, I feel like the anesthesia and stuff really rolled her. Yeah. So she's not fully grounded into her body, but I'm not going to help her because, or help that along, because I feel like sometimes after you have surgery and you're in pain, having uh, being grounded is the last thing you want. Part of the reason after you go through stuff like that and you're pretty ungrounded is because being fully in your body is more painful than not. So I think we let her kind of slowly come back into her body. Otherwise, I think she's doing pretty good. But Denise, I feel like she's probably still acting a little bit confused and like thick, like she's moving through molasses. I feel like that's going to get better as she goes, but that's what it is. Oh, Jane said, I have stuff. I have to get out of the garage, so I got to do it. All right. Well, Jane, do this then, okay? Set up a reward for yourself. What do you want for dinner that night? What's one thing you need or want that you could do with some of the money you make? Do something for you. Set up a goal. In other words, I'm not above bribery. I think self bribery is really smart. Sid, I'll have to figure out how to get my dog Patchouli to hold her mouth open for 4 counts while I pull her ears outward. The Kairos method makes sense, right? I know. I wonder if you could do that for a dog. Even Yeah. I mean, even if you could just massage her jaw so that she opens, and you don't have to pull her ears clear out, but you could just kind of like pull them up, you know? Interesting. You'll have to let me know, Sid, if that made a difference. Poor Patchouli. I know she probably needs it. Oh, good. Lillian found him on YouTube. It makes all the sense in the world to me. Sherry said, "Are these twilighted shots okay to keep taking in my back? They help a lot." My gut feeling is yes, Sherry. As long as your doctor's still cool giving them, I feel like it's you needed to get out of that out of pain and get to where you could actually rest and not be so uncomfortable all the time. So why not? I feel like it is okay. As long as your doctor feels like it's okay, of course. But I feel like they're helping you. You deserve to not be in pain all the time. Jane, can you get a hit on my bro in long term nursing care? He really needs healing. Oh, let's feel into him. Jane, I'm just going to put a lot of light around him. There's so much anger, old anger in him that just needs to be spent. And humiliation in the nursing care. He hates it. I think he's doing a lot better with it than he used to, though. I'm just putting a lot of light and compassion around him. Yeah, poor guy. This is absolutely the last place he wanted to find himself. Dang it. And for you, watching your siblings get older, I think has been really hard on you as well. Name is Frank. Yeah. Yeah, I put a lot of light around him. Jane, if he's allowed to have snacks, I would send him some of his favorite snacks and treats here and there. I think that's something that might give him some a boost if he can have them. He feels to me like anything that just feels like an old favorite would be a nice change for him. Well, I check in with Patchouli Dog and ask if she's felt any improvement in water distribution and oxygen uptake since taking homeopathic cell salts. Mm, let me try, Sid. She doesn't know about any of that, but she does know that she is feeling more energetic. So I would say that's an affirmative. But all those words, she had no clue. Oh, Jane said, I suspect the care staff absconds with stuff I send. Oh, damn it. That definitely happens. Yeah, I'm sorry. Shoot. Sherry, you are more than welcome. My honor. Oh, good. Tiffany said on Hickory, just today she was exploring more and ate more breakfast greens. Good. Yep, she's swinging up. It's just taking some time, man, for that mouth to get feeling better. Poor girl. Oh, Renee said she has deer and birds that eat her strawberries. Oh gosh. Strawberries are hard. I know there's nets and stuff, but for me, like they were coming up out of the under the net and eating mine. These jerks. What do they think they get to eat? It's hard to be too mad, you know? But what can you do? We're in this period right now, and this happens every year where the crows aren't necessarily hanging around here as much, you know? They're off the farmers are starting to dig some of their fields, so they're out checking that out and getting into other things. And So they're not always here. And it always freaks me out a little bit. I'm out there, feeding them every day, and they're not always out there yelling at me in the mornings, which is weird. Every year it makes me a little insecure, and then they come back. But every year it worries me. Yeah. Okay. Smiling said, wondered what is sucking all of her energy. I've been beyond tired for weeks now. Ooh, let's feel into it. You have so many little cords up in your high heart. It's probably not all of it. I think that there is a physical reason for this too. You have a cocktail of things that's kind of been slowly chipping away. I would definitely go get labs, see where your hormones are, what your thyroid's doing, all of those good things. But in the meantime, if I were you, I would make sure I was really getting good electrolytes every day. And I'm going to pull all of those little cords out of your high heart because, man, that can start draining you a lot. And because of that big, beautiful heart of yours, people do attach to you because they want a little bit of what you've got, which isn't the worst thing, except for that when you get too many of these little cords, you're giving away the farm, you know? Okay, so I'm going to pull those out. I'm healing them with love here and just returning them to sender, all the senders. And then I'm going to heal all that up with gold. That's going to make a good difference. Just that piece. But I would still, if I were you, go get some labs and see what's going on because this is more than one thing. Good. Good. That is helpful. Okay. And then lastly, Maureen, having a lot of post gut issues after the ruptured appendix. Lots of vagus nerve issues. Colonoscopy set for August, but I just want to feel better. Hoping a trip home helps. Oh, yeah, honey, I saw that comment up above. I think it will. I feel like some of it is stress, some of it is just learning what your body needs, now, what your body needs now. You are a lot like smiling in that this is kind of a combo of things. But your body, it takes a long time to clear all of that infection, to heal yourself up from it. You know, we don't heal as fast as we used to, right? The older you get, and it just takes more time and more patience. But I think a trip to the shore would be amazing for you to just really kick back, relax, have fun. It would be amazing for you. Yeah. Oh, good. Smiling said she'll go to the doctor. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Do not suffer in silence, right? It's not worth it. Not when there is very likely help to figure it out. All righty, you guys. Well, you know how it is. We've talked down to the end of the show. I am over at One to Listen every single day. I'm a professional psychic advisor over there. Can you believe that I am coming up on my, oh, now I don't want to say because I can't remember, my 12-year anniversary at One to Listen in September. 12 years. So wild. And here on One Two Radio too. So but yeah, you can find me over there every day doing psychic readings, energy work, mediumship, animal communication, cheerleading, butt kicking, mothering, sistering, whatever you need, I'll be there for you. So grateful for all of you. So come see me over at Listen if I can help. Otherwise, I will be back Thursday night with for the Psychic Hour with Christy at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, only on YouTube and Facebook Live. And I'd love to see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on One Two Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.